Let's look at 5 bad money habits that you need to break right now. Number 5, relying on credit cards to pay bills. Far too many people have the bad habit of relying on credit cards to pay their bills. This can quickly lead to a dangerous cycle of debt that is difficult to break. Not only does this put a strain on your finances, but it can also wreak havoc on your credit score when credit card bills aren't paid on time. If you find yourself relying on credit cards to make ends meet, it's time to break that habit and take control of your finances. Number 4, spending more than you earn. One of the worst money habits that you can have is spending more money than you earn. This can quickly lead to debt, and it can be difficult to break the cycle of spending and borrowing. If you find yourself in this situation, it's important to take steps to get your finances back on track. One way to do this is to create a budget and stick to it. Determine how much money you need for essential expenses, and then allocate a certain amount for discretionary spending. Once you have a budget in place, make a conscious effort to stay within its limits. Number 3, not being prepared for an emergency. There's one bad money habit that is particularly harmful: not having an emergency fund. An emergency fund is a crucial part of financial security because it provides a cushion in case of unexpected expenses. For example, if you lose your job or have a medical emergency, an emergency fund can help you cover the costs until you get back on your feet. And yet, many people don't have an emergency fund at all. If you're one of them, it's time to break that habit and start setting aside money for a rainy day. Number 2, paying your bills late. If you're in the habit of paying your bills late, it's time to make a change. Not only does paying late lead to late fees that can add up, but it can also damage your credit score. That can lead to higher interest rates and make it harder to borrow money in the future. It's definitely worth it to pay your bill on time. Set up automated payments if need be, but make sure your bills are being paid on time every time. It's the best way to keep your finances healthy and avoid costly fees. Before I move on to number 1, make sure you subscribe and click the bell. That way you'll be the first to see my next money-making video. Number 1, overspending on non-essentials. Most of us have at least one bad money habit. For some people, it's overspending on non-essentials. When you overspend on things that you don't really need, it can put a strain on your finances and make it harder to save for the future. There's a few things you can do to break this overspending habit. First, take a close look at your spending patterns and try to identify where you tend to overspend. Do you tend to buy unnecessary items when you're bored or shopping online? Once you know where your spending problems lie, you can start working on fixing them. Click the video on the screen to see another money-making video.